One of our inner circle members asked how to do a gradient fill on a left chest design, and this is the artwork that they sent. Now, it's one thing to do a gradient fill on a jacket back, but when you're talking about a 3 or 3¼ inch design and you want to do a gradient, it can end up looking a little bit sloppy in the end results, and embroidery needs to look clean. So in this video, I'm going to show you just how it's done. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is take a look at this artwork and see exactly how big it is, because I loaded it in, and if I select the backdrop and I go to my properties, I can see right now that this design, if I go to inches, they said they wanted it about 80 centimeters in width, which I think is about 2.15 inches. And right now this design from one side to the other is measuring pretty much 11 inches across. Now that obviously is going to be way too large. So the easiest way that I found to kind of scale my artwork, because I have all of this white space on either side, is to go in here to my digitizing tools, and I'm just going to choose a steel, which is a fixed width satin, and I'm going to drop a line down right here. So I'll drop a line down so I can see where a straight line is. I can always move that afterwards. And then I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to click all the way over on the other side here and just hit enter and create one line. Now if I go to my sequence and I look at that line and I select it, when I go to the width of this, and if I go to, let's say, transform, I can see that right now this is 3.9 inches wide. And I'm going to make it, I think, about maybe 3.25 because they wanted this for a left chest design. And I'm going to hit enter, and that's going to make that a little bit smaller. Now, if I look at what that is in millimeters, that's 82.5. So they said 80 millimeters from left to right. So I'm pretty much on the money. 3¼ inches is already going to make this pretty small, especially considering all of this tiny lettering that's going to be here. Now, I do want to say that I'm not going to digitize all the lettering in this tutorial. I'm just going to focus on the actual gradient because that's what they asked. But if I were going to digitize this lettering, I would be doing it manually. I would actually go in there and digitize it manually, and I need to make a lot of adjustments to kerning and the width of the stitch because that is going to be tiny, but you work with what you have. So now that I have that there, I'm just going to close this one right now, remove this one for a second, and I'm going to go back to selecting my artwork, and let's just zoom out a little bit. I'll go back to my backdrop. I'm going to select the backdrop, and I'm going to start to resize this and make it a little bit smaller and see if I can get it right around the size of that. So I'm just kind of eyeballing, and this is where I can use my artwork as a guide with relation to the actual design that I see. So it's almost there, and that little guide that I put in there, that is going to be right about there. That's almost dead on, and I think that that should probably just about do it. So that's going to be the approximate size of this. Now that the size is done and I have it in position, I'm just going to grab that little object and I'm going to get rid of it. So this is the size of the design that I'm looking at. I've sized it. I'm going to leave the opacity, which is how bright the design is. I have usually the opacity, I'll set it to about half because I want to be able to see the artwork, and you can always change that midway, but because I'm focusing on the gradient, I really want to see just how vibrant those colors are so I can get as accurate as possible. And looking at this, I can see that there is 3 colors within this. I have a middle shade, which is the orange, and then I have a red and a gold. Now here's where, if I'm looking at a gradient that's going from, let's say, yellow to gold to orange and then to red, I'm going to probably put down a base fill first. And my base fill for me is always going to be that middle color. I want that orange to be spread across as a base, and then I'm going to start variegating the gold into the orange and the red into the orange on the other side, and that way I should get something that looks pretty clean. But it's going to be pretty tough because if I look at this, I have all this little starburst here, and I really, if I try to just do that in 3 colors, it's going to be very, very messy. It's not going to look like a finished product when it's done. There's going to be all kinds of little stitches showing along the edges, and it's not going to look clean at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself an area to travel, and that means that I'm going to actually digitize a border around the outside of this and do these little starbursts, and I'm going to do them in a color. And I really don't care what color it is because odds are I'm going to match that color to the fabric, because it looks like this is sort of negative space, but I really have to, remember that I'm dealing with thread here. So I need to create cleanness, and I'm going to use this as a negative space. And if my shirt is black, I'll run these lines and this outline in black. If my shirt is white, I'll run it in white. I just need to give myself a place to travel. Now, a couple of things I am going to do. I'm going to go to a 6:1 scale because that's what I am used to creating designs at. I'm going to move this right over here so I can see this, right there. And I'm going to start to give myself some little guides. So if I go up to my little top ruler here and I start bringing one down, line down, I want to bring this line down something like this because I want to see this line here, this space here. And I'm also going to slide out a couple of lines, maybe one from right, that would be pretty much the center, I believe. So that would be almost the center point. I'll do a center point, and then I'm going to slide a couple other lines, maybe one right here and one right here. So I'm giving myself some visual guidelines in which I'm going to do my gradation on each of the colors. And this center line was the, kind of line that lets me know what the space is evenly on either side. So now that I have those baselines in, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my widget here and I'm just going to draw a line with my art tool. So I'm going to choose my art tool. I'm going to choose the fast draw. I'm going to put a straight point right here. And then I'm going to start to curve around and do something like this. So I'm going to do little curves and I'm going to curve around something like this and come right to this point here. And then I'll start to follow this all the way around like this. Continue to go around, curve, curve, curve. And I'm going to curve all the way around this object exactly like this. And let's move the widget out of the way. So I'm coming right to this point here. Curve, curve, curve. Come all the way around and continue my curve right to this point here. And then I'm going to hit enter and I'm going to close the shape. So now I have a closed shape. So there is my first line, and I have it in black. Black is fine. I can, do that in black. I can do it in any color I want. So I'll leave it at black. Actually, maybe, maybe we'll change this to a dark green just so that we can see a little bit of a difference in color. So there's my green. Now that is my line. So that's going to be my finishing line. What I want to do first, though, is I want to create all of this little starburst area here. And I'm going to use my classic satin, and I'm going to use just my, point counterpoint. But when I come right here, I'm going to do the first little point almost on the end, and I'm going to do it as a little angle point. And then I'm going to go right to here, and I'm going to hit enter. Now keep in mind that right now, I have my smart join on and all of my trim functions. So as I continue making all of these little points, and this one I do the same thing, little curved stitch right there. So I'm just going to go here, put the first one at a little tiny angle, and then go right, and I can do this one kind of maybe straight like this. And then I'm going to do this one. I'm going to keep going right here, and I'm going to do another little curve piece here, do this point right here, and then I'll just keep doing all these. I know they're all touching, so they're all going to kind of touch on the inside, so I don't have to worry about, them not connecting because the smart join is on. But I'm just going to do all these little points here, and I'm going to continue on again. First little curves there, go right to here. Because I am using a recipe, I have the cotton recipe on. There is a little bit of pull compensation. I believe it's set at 0.2 millimeters, so it's going to overthrow these stitches just a tiny little bit. And I'm just continuing to go around and generate each of these tiny little lines. And keep the same flow of stitches. And do this one right to here. And then this one right to here. And that pretty much has it. So there I have that done. Now what I'm going to do is, now that that's done, I'm going to go into my settings. I'm going to grab that piece of artwork and I'm going to put it at the very end. So now it's at the end of the object right here. And this is my last piece, then this one. Now with that one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it to convert to a steel. So I'm going to click on steel, and it's going to give me a steel stitch. Now here's where my settings came up for that steel stitch. And if I look at it, it's 2.5 millimeters. I'm going to change that to 1.5 millimeters. So it's going to make it a little smaller. And I'm going to go here to my inset. I'm going to set this at 0 and hit enter. And now it is along the outside. So this, in reality, right now, is my traveling area. I've made all these pieces together. They all join properly. They're joining closest point, and this will give me a nice traveling stitch in which all of the variegation is going to go underneath, and then it'll do those finished starburst, the finished stitch around the outside. That'll be the same color as the garment, and this should look nice and clean when it's done, as opposed to looking all jagged along the edges where I'm trying to get variegation in place. Now the next thing I'm going to do is lay down my base fill, and my base fill is going to be the orange. So I'll choose an orange color, and I'm going to choose my fill. So I'll just click on the fill here, and I'm going to use my input with the fast draw. And all I'm going to do, let's just move this out of the way, is I'm going to do the entire area, but I'm going to start here with straight. Now the fill is going to go vertically. It's going to go up and down because the variegation looks like it's spanning across vertically as it goes. So I'm going to put in my push and pull compensation. So I'm going to cut it short on this side, and I'm going to come around here, and actually I'll go back up one, and I will bring it out a little further on the outside there as I go all the way around like this, just doing curves. And then here I'll start to bring it inside a little bit, and right to here. I'll come over here, and then I will come around this way, just like this, again allowing for the pull. And here I'm going to cut it short a little bit, come across this way, again allowing for the pull. And I will go right to here, go all the way over to here, and I'll just get right to this point, and I'm going to then press enter. Now the first thing it's going to do is ask me for my inclination, so I'm going to put an inclination straight across like that, hit enter, and it's going to ask me for my start and stop. Now here I am going to turn off my smart join, and I'm going to have it start right here, and I'm going to have it end. So I'll start right at the one side and have it end over at the other side. So the stitching will go all the way across from one side to the other. I don't want this to split apart in any way. I want to make sure it continues in a stitch direction. And if I look at my 3 draw here, and I see that the first colors are all going down, and this one is doing an underlay to hold it, and then it's going from one side all the way to the other right to here. So that means when I do my next color, I can just do the variegation with the yellow, and I'll start at the side and move towards the center. So I'm going to take this one here, let's just backspace, get that one out, and I'm going to turn off my 3D, and now I'm going to choose a light yellow color. And with the same thing, I have my smart join off right now, so my smart join is turned off, and I have my fill. I'm going to do this same way. I'm just going to come right here, do my fill stitch going around just like this, and I'll bring it right to this point here, and then come down, and then I'm going to do this point right to here, and again come down this way and right to this point here, and hit enter. And then I'm going to do my inclination. Again, my inclination is going to go completely straight like that. And then I'm going to do my start right here and my stop right down here. So start and stop are in, and hit enter. Now if I look at this, I have a full fill right here, and that's okay because I'm going to change the properties of that afterwards. Now I want to choose my red, so I'm going to choose a red color, and I will go with the red, and this time I'm going to start right over here. And I'll do this one, and let's just see, that is around the center point right there. So I'll come right about here, I think, and I'll do this point right here, again, going around like this, and come around, come straight up, same thing, adjusting for push and fall. I'm going to come right to about here, so it's nice and straight, enter. I'm going to put this one right here, from here all the way up, and then here I start, and I'm going to end all the way over the other side, and now that one's done. So now if I look at this, I should see, and I did kind of eyeball that a little bit, but there's all my colors. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these colors now, and I'm going to look at the sequence. So I'm going to make this one smaller, and I'm going to take that color right here, and I'm going to move it down to the very last object. So now it's going to be over top of everything else. So there is my colors, but they aren't variegated at this point. So now all I have to do is go into each one. It's only one piece, and let's adjust the settings so that I'm going to create my variegation. So now all I have to do is go in and grab the fill, and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to get rid of the underlay, so I don't want any underlay in the design, and I'm going to turn on the gradient to a linear increasing, and that way I have a nice, and I can change that to 3.8, which it is. So that's going to give me a nice gradient from 0.4 to 3.8. And then I'm going to go to the other side. So I'll unselect that one, select this one, do the same thing. 0.4 is good. I'm going to get rid of the underlay. So no underlay on that fill. And I'm going to do a linear increase or decrease in this time. So it goes the opposite direction. And the same thing, I'm going to do a 3.8 millimeter. And that's going to give me 3.8 on that side. So there I have all of my blending going in. It actually, if I look at this, and I'm just going to do a little redraw to make sure that it's going to kind of sew out nicely, but it's going to do the fill stitch first, and then it is going to go from one side to the other, and then it's going to go from that side over with the gradient, and then from that side over to the other side with the gradient, and then it's going to come in and do all of those finishing stitches on the outside. So now we'll make sure we save our JDX file, and after that I'll save a DST, I'll run it on the machine, and then we'll check out the results. Well, it's finished running on the machine, and I think it looks pretty good. We have a nice gradient variegated effect where we have the light gold to the orange to the red, and it looks nice and clean. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Inner Circle members, don't forget to download your lesson files below. Not a member yet? Join the Inner Circle and get access to exclusive bonuses, hands-on training, and everything you need to master embroidery digitizing. Click the link in the description to get started. Want to keep learning? Check out these tutorials next and take your embroidery skills even further.